We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go. Hi everybody, I'm Sophie, he's Mike, and she's Brenda, and welcome to On the Road with Mickey. If you're returning for another adventure with us, welcome back. We are so glad you have returned safely. And if this is your first episode with us and you're new here, welcome. It's so nice to meet you, and I'm going to show you the reins today. First up, we have our Cheddar from the Big Cheese, which is basically our Disney news snippets. And then after that, we have our feature topic, which is what we talk about for most of the episode. And then after that, we have our This Day in Disney History, brought to you by me. And after that is our game of Who's Who, and that is brought to you by Mike, my dad. Oh, fair warning, I'm almost never wrong when it comes to this game. I almost always win it. And then after that, Brenda will be giving us a quote from the big man himself, Walt Disney, and it's just going to be amazing. So buckle up, keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the car at all times. Make sure you're safe, fasten your seatbelts, all that good stuff, and we will see you on the road. It's time to get going. Let's go!
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie.
And she's Brenda.
Hi,
And
everyone.
I'm sorry, Brenda, I interrupted. Let's start over. Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie.
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
And we want to keep, saying hi to our talkative one, Grogu.
Yeah,
There
he's
we
waving
go.
right now.
So cute, so cute.
Eee.
And we are on the road with Mickey. This is season 2, episode 17 for April 26, 2021. And today we are taking a look at our top Disney TV shows. Just a little off the wall kind of episode. It's spanning just about as far back as you want to go, to be honest with you. It could be talking about Disney Channel, could be talking about Disney Plus, could be talking about when you were a kid and you gathered and you watched The Wonderful World of Disney or whatever you watched,
Yeah.
So let's stay tuned and see what kind of rabbit hole we go down and see how this show ends up. But first, of course, we have some cheddar, and some late cheddar came down that we want to talk about. But first, it's time for the rumor mill, okay? And yesterday, by the way, we're recording on April 23rd. So yesterday would have been Earth Day, April 22nd. And the California Department of Public Health released information regarding fully vaccinated out-of-state visitors. And they quote, fully vaccinated persons from out of state may visit or attend activities or events that are restricted to in-state visitors. Fully vaccinated persons should consult the current CDPH travel advisory and adhere to any applicable recommendations. End quote. Now, at this time, Disney has not updated any of their website information to allow out-of-state visitors. However, I saw that SeaWorld in San Diego has updated it and is allowing. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of a fluid situation. And I'm really curious to see if this means that Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure will open for out-of-state visitors sooner than we thought. So just stay tuned. We don't know. Like I said, the only thing that's fact is the fact of what the CDPH put out there, but we don't know what this means as far as Disney goes right now. So
Yeah.
stay tuned.
Yep.
All right. Well, time for some news that is definitely not rumor mill. It has been confirmed, and Miss Brenda was actually the one who gave us this wonderful news. A celebration of the Festival of the Lion King will be opening in mid-May. Miss Brenda, you are going to be going to Disney in late May, aren't you?
I am. I can't
So
wait.
that means that you are going to go see it for me.
I am, and I'm going to take pictures for you and get it on a video.
Oh my
Awesome.
goodness, then we can't wait to hear all about the show.
Yay!
Yeah, and remember, Brenda, when she gets back, will be doing a recap of her Walt Disney World trip. And I can't wait to just sit back and listen while Brenda tells us every little juicy tidbit.
Hope I have a bunch of juicy tidbits to share.
I'm
don't
sure
worry.
you will.
I know you will.
Well, April 22nd was Earth Day, but it was also the 23rd birthday for Disney's Animal Kingdom Park. So just a reminder, my number one attraction at Animal Kingdom is Expedition Everest. I'll be
And
riding
by
it
the way,
soon.
trivia.
Uh-oh.
When Animal Kingdom Park opened in 1998, was Expedition Everest a ride yet? Yes or no?
Ooh, no.
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 Do you know when it opened, Brenda?
I don't, but I know it was not open when the park opened.
You're right. It was not. It didn't open until 2006. Like
Yeah.
May
Long time.
7th or something like that of that year.
We
So
watched that
8
sucker being built
years.
for like 3 years. Like
8
3 years of
years.
visits.
Anyway, and it's
Takes a while.
still Brenda's number one attraction.
Yay. No, my number one is Tower of Terror, but my number
Number one at
there.
Animal Kingdom, I mean.
Yeah.
Me and Sophie stick together on Tower of Terror. Well, there's more great news coming up because my buddy Jeff, the Walt Disney World president,
Yeah, we're on
Posted-
first name basis.
posted a very important message, and I'm going to quote him exactly. On a recent trip to Magic Kingdom, I stopped by to check in with the engineering team overseeing the refurbishment of the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover, previously called the WED Way, People Mover Wedway, when I first rode it as a teenager. Thrilled that this team has it ready to delight a new generation when it reopens later this weekend, which means it should be open when this episode airs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
please.
so excited.
Please. We have been waiting for this for so long, and we've heard so many different updates about it being opened.
So excited.
And as much as I love Jeff, he's a great guy, an awesome guy, I'm really having trouble having faith in him this time. So please open it up.
Open
Well,
it up.
Just FYI, this is the first update we've had that came from the president of the Walt Disney World Resort. So,
Exactly.
so
So I'm
so
trusting
I'm
him
gonna
on that.
I'm gonna take it as gospel. And
Me
I can't
too.
wait to hear about all the people that wrote it. You know?
All right.
Awesome. I'll get a video of that too. I'll share it with you guys while I'm there.
Oh,
Do
My
it. Get a
goodness, I'm
picture
so
of the
grateful for
line.
text and
yeah.
Messenger and all that stuff.
If you ask me, as much as I love the People Mover, I think that line is going to be all the way out of Tomorrowland. It's going to be so long when that thing opens.
It could be, but 6 feet distance between each person, it's going to be that long anyway. And the lines move fast, and that's a continuous ride, so that's really going to move fast. So
That's
I
true.
can't wait.
Well, last week, we had our top 10 Disney snacks. And so I did a poll in our Facebook group of the top Disney snacks from our list. And so there were 31 entries because I threw my honorable mention of the orange creamsicle shake.
Yeah.
There, which, by the way, had 0 votes.
Oh, well, we'll have
But
to
anyway,
try it.
the top 3 votes, Sophie's Dole Whip was number
for
1.
sure.
Not a surprise.
Not a surprise.
Number 2 was Sophie's Beignets.
Yum.
Not a surprise to me either.
Very good. good.
And number 3 was Brenda's most every Disney cupcake, especially seasonal
Yay!
ones.
We love the cupcakes.
So I guess the question is, where's the love for Mike's desserts, right?
Well,
Mike
Daddy,
loves
it's
them.
quite simple. Miss Brenda and I are foodies.
Well, I thought I was a foodie. If you take one look at me, you will see that I like my food, people. Anyway,
Not right. Not
just
right.
funny. My popcorn and Diet Coke was like number 4 or 5 on the list, so not horrible, but just
I
not in
think
the top 3. That's for dang sure.
it might just be that a lot of your snacks and desserts, Daddy, they seem to be more savory than sweet.
Maybe. Anyway,
Maybe.
maybe. But anyway,
Alrighty.
so that
Thank y'all
wraps
for
up our
entering the
Cheddar
poll, though,
Pacific
and for putting
cheese.
your vote in.
Yeah, thank you everyone for voting. And if you have any dessert or snack credit or questions, talk to Sophie and Brenda because evidently they know what they're talking about. And just a reminder, go check out the ways in the show notes of how you connect with us. And we look forward to hearing from you because we love talking to our listeners. And so, but that wraps us up and that takes us to our feature topic, our top Disney TV shows. And
Yep.
Sophie is going to start us off. And
Yeah, this is kind of my ball field.
Yeah, it's kind of up her alley a little bit, but we're going to just talk through some of our favorite things that we've encountered that are Disney TV shows. And I've got one that I think is going to be kind of cool to talk about. So,
All right.
but Sophie's going to go first.
All right.
Well, I have 3 that I put, and those are the minimum. I can talk about more if time allows for it, but right now the first one that I'm going to be talking about has to be Phineas and Ferb. It is a very popular show. It was when it aired, and now that it's completed its season, it's completed its entire run on the TV. It's popular again. People really like that show, and it's all about just this imagination that these 2 amazing boys have, and it's also about the way that the episodes are made. There isn't really a lot of chronological order to the episodes themselves. They just sort of follow this formula that works every single time, and the creators of the show, they made it an amazing thing. They did it very well. You can't find many shows out there that can pull off 3 different plots in a single episode at once.
Very clever.
It's very clever and it's very imaginative, and that's why so many of us like it, because it's kind of like, this is our childhood. Like, you guys have your childhood, but this is ours. And
That's true.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you know what's interesting to me is how Disney takes things and they and then they incorporate them into the parks, you know? Sophie, remember the time Brenda wasn't there, but she was at this event and when we had the Pixie get together way
Yeah.
back in 2013, and we've talked about it before.
Yep.
But Sophie, remember the time you, me, and Mommy, I think we were at Hollywood Studios, and we
Yep.
actually had our picture taken with Phineas and Ferb.
Yes,
and it
I
was
do
so
remember
cool.
that.
And we were
And I
all
was
wearing our Pixie shirts.
and I was trying so hard to get them to notice that Perry the Platypus was there in the back, but they just wouldn't.
But anyway, that's like, and I like how Disney brings that stuff into the parks, But Phineas and Ferb are so cool. I really like Phineas and Ferb. And
They are.
you know,
And if none of you know what we're talking about, please go watch an episode. I promise you'll love it.
Even just Google it or look it up on YouTube. You probably can find an episode or 2 on YouTube.
For sure.
But but yeah, it's just neat, and it was just a lot of fun. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and there is a segue of Phineas and Ferb. There is a Star Wars version of Phineas and Ferb, where is it? What's the sister's name? Candace,
Yes, Candace.
and it's like she's like the overlord kind of the of
No,
of
not
the
quite.
empire or something. She's in
Nope.
charge. No,
Mm-mm.
tell me about it then, Soph.
Okay, so it's basically, and it's not even a clever name or anything, it's just Phineas and Ferb Star Wars. And you have
It's on
Phineas
Disney
Skywalker
Plus.
and Furby-Wan Kenobi or something. And then you have Candace Solo. Candace, I think, is Han Solo or something like that. I don't know. Wait, no. No, that's not
No,
right. Either way, Candace is dressed as a stormtrooper from what I understand. But actually, it's Dr. Doofenshmirtz who is Darth Vader. He is the one in control of everything.
I
And
think
then
we're looking
Perry
at
the
different
Platypus is
things.
awesome. Wait, am I breaking out?
No, I think
No.
we were looking at different things because the one I remember, Candace was definitely in charge. Anyway, or at
Maybe.
least in
I
my
don't know.
mind, she was in charge.
I mean, Candace is always in charge, but no, this one's I'm pretty sure that a lot of the official ones depict Candace as a stormtrooper.
Okay. Anyway, go look it up. Go search for it.
Yep.
Phineas and Ferb Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth a laugh. So okay. So Sophie, do you want to talk about your other two as well, or how do you want to do this?
I'm
It's your
gonna
show.
pass it on to you guys because I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Okay. Well, most of the shows that I encounter are ones that I don't necessarily find, and Cindy directs me to look at them. You know, Mandalorian was like that. We Sophie and I hadn't watched it at all, and Cindy saw like the first two episodes and said you need to watch this, and she turned it on and we restarted at episode 1 even though she had seen it, and we were hooked, you know.
Oh yeah, by this
And
little one for me
Yeah.
specifically.
yeah, so the Mandalorian is like it's just there, you know. It's like it's just so incredible, you know.
It's
And
kicking it on the popularity charts for
yeah,
sure.
Oh
for
yeah.
sure. For sure. And so it is definitely one of my shows. And it's got a long break until it comes out again
I
because of
can't wait for the
timing and
book of
whatnot.
Boba Fett.
I don't know how the Book of Boba Fett, which is a segue series that they're doing, I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know how long it'll go. I'm kind of curious. I'm more interested in the Mandalorian, especially with the last episode with Grogu and Luke Skywalker.
Well, is it confirmed that it's gonna have a season 3?
Oh yeah, it's definitely having it. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yep.
it's definitely having it.
They're gonna have to
Okay.
they're gonna have to fight if they ever plan
So
to
I
get rid
just
of
want
that
to see where
series.
that storyline goes. You know, I want to see where that goes. But
Yeah.
but anyway, as far as popular TV shows now, Mandalorian is on the top of my list. You know, so
It's a good
Yeah.
one. Yep, you're gonna be in the majority this time. No more creamsicle drink for you.
All right.
so,
Well,
so Miss Brenda, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, I, in all honesty, I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch nearly as much TV as I used to when I was younger. I don't know how that happened. Now that I have more time, I watch less TV. I read more. But I am a Marvel freak, so I am watching The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which by the time this show airs, the last episode, which is tonight, will have already aired. So they did 6 episodes. It was just like a 6 hour movie they did. Then they
Yeah.
broke it up into 6 episodes. And so tonight's the last one. I have really enjoyed it. Um I already knew what was going to happen, I should say, because in 2014, Sam took the shield. He accepted the shield
Uh-huh.
from Captain America, so I knew that was going to happen. But um, I'm enjoying the series. I'm looking forward to Loki that's going to start in June.
Mm.
I just love all the Marvel stuff, but that's really the only thing I'm consistently watching. So,
Is Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, all the WandaVision. I watched a couple of those. I
We haven't seen a single WandaVision yet.
I
Nope.
love the WandaVision, but I'm just behind on them. I just haven't watched TV that much. So, but
Yeah.
I do
And
love all
that's
the Marvel
okay.
stuff. So,
That is
So
perfectly okay, Miss Brenda. Funny thing, I don't remember the last time I turned on the TV. I don't watch any of these shows anymore. I'm going off of the ones that I absolutely loved to watch when I was still turning on the TV regularly.
yeah,
mhm.
that's
Yeah.
good.
And another one, because a lot of these shows, these are just trips down memory lane for me. And another one of them from my childhood was this show called Good Luck Charlie.
Ah,
And my dad remembers that one.
yeah. I remember them all. Yeah.
Yeah, Good Luck Charlie is it's a really good show about growing up. That is the entire premise is this teenage girl and she has a baby sister named Charlie and they also have like two, three brothers in the later seasons, and she's teaching her how to manage her way around the house and the family as she gets older by leaving her these little video diaries of
Oh,
all the things that she went through as she was growing up. And she always ends them with "Good luck, Charlie."
that's sweet.
Yeah, it's
What a
so
great big
cute.
sister.
Uh-huh. And her name is Teddy. There's PJ, Teddy, Gabe, Charlie, and Toby.
Yeah.
Great.
I
I
love.
remember watching a couple of those with the girls a while back, and I liked it. I just didn't follow it because they don't live with me, so it wasn't like we
Yeah.
were watching it all the time.
Oh, Daddy, are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. My cheek was itchy.
Oh, it looked like you were tearing up for a bit. I was like,
Uh-uh.
Daddy, we can go
No.
watch some Good
Oh.
Luck Charlie when you get home.
No, I'm okay. I really am. I'm not crying. You're crying.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet.
Aww.
No.
That's it. When you get home, I'm turning on Good Luck Charlie and we're watching the one about the exterminator convention.
No. I'm okay. I'm going to share an image with you guys.
Oh,
And
yay.
this is
Oh, goodness.
this is um something that I had never heard of until Cindy pointed it out to me. Brenda, you specifically, I know Sophie will recognize it, but Brenda, you tell me if you recognize the um the people in the image, okay?
Okay.
And if you ever saw it as a kid.
Okay. Two brothers. Don't
Nope.
know what it is.
Okay. Well, that is Spin and Marty, and they were part of a little serial episode, weekly serial that I think ran during the original Mickey Mouse Clubhouse show.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
It
they were
did.
like 10-minute episodes, and it was called The Adventures of Spin and Marty. And um those were the two main actors involved in it, and one of them was from the city and one of them was from the country, and they were sent to this camp together along with several other boys, and it was like an outdoor, like a dude ranch for kids
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it
And
was a horseback riding camp.
yeah, and it was so neat. Cindy found this and she was like, "You guys have got to see this." And she found it on Disney Plus, and we started watching it, And it's like the kind of thing where these episodes were in the middle of the regular show, so they were only like 10
10
minute little
minutes.
serial episodes, like, and so you could binge them in
Yep,
like
an
a day
hour.
or two, you know. They were so,
Yeah.
there were like 25, 26 episodes though, but
Yep.
they
What
were
year was
just,
that probably, Mike?
I think it was in the 50s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I think so.
1957, I believe.
Wow.
And um and it was just so neat, and it was just a lot of fun, and it was like, I don't, it was kind of like, you know how, um do you remember the Tracy Ullman show
I
when it
saw it a
came on
couple of
Fox?
times.
Well, when it first came on, the Simpsons were a little cartoon skit in the Tracy Ullman show.
Oh, okay.
And from that, and those were just like a little 5 or 10 minute cartoons, right, in the middle of her show. And in the middle of all that, that's what started the Simpsons, which
Mm.
is still going on now. But anyway, but it's kind of like that. They were just little snippets in the middle, tucked in the middle of the show, and
Yeah.
it was just so neat. It was just so cool, and and it's just throwback. It's a throwback to another day and another time. And when you go to Hollywood Studios, Brenda, and you go into Walt One Man's Dream, and you go
Yeah.
down the museum, look on the walls, because there are pictures of these kids along with the
Huh.
Musketeers from when they were actually doing the show. And it's just so neat. And it's
Awesome.
so, it kind of like, brings you back to reality of, that they were doing this. And then there's also an inclusion in the parks too about it. So really neat. But
Yay.
it's worth, if you ever want to find just a quick little something to watch, Brenda, go on to Disney Plus and search for The Adventures of Spin and Marty, and just see
Yeah.
what you think of the first episode, or the
Yeah.
first 2 or 3 episodes,
And
because
did you
it's,
talk about Mima?
oh, Meemaw remembered it. No, I didn't, but Meemaw, that's my mom. This Sophie calls her Meemaw,
Yeah.
and she remembered them from the show from when she was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's good.
seeing them on the wall was kind of cool for her too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so,
awesome.
so
Things
the
have changed a lot
adventures.
since then, I bet. Because I got a
Oh
friend of
yeah.
mine who has a daughter on the rodeo circuit. She's a barrel racer, and oh my gosh, that
Oh
girl is something.
wow.
Wow.
Wow. That would
Yep.
be something. But
Yep. Talented.
anyway, so yeah, the Adventures of Spin and Marty are, they're worth checking into, I think they're worth
Yeah.
checking into.
They are.
So,
Awesome.
So, with that being said, you don't have to watch anything right now, but do you have any shows that you liked in the past?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, me. In the past, when I think about it, I mean, of course, the Wonderful World of Disney, like when I was a little kid and it was on
Mm-hmm.
like Saturday night or something, and it would, uh, you know, Walt talked about the part that
hmm
he was developing. So it was like
Yeah.
magic. I mean, I fell in love with Walt a long, long time ago. So I loved that show. But when I think back on other shows, I really just can get movies. I can get like Parent Trap. I've watched Parent Trap like 35 times with my daughter. And I'm talking about the one with Lindsay Lohan, but I do know the Hallie Mills one too. I've seen that one too. But I can think of movies that I really like, but not really TV shows except for that one, The Wonderful World of Disney. I loved.
Hmm.
well, the Wonderful World of Disney, was cool. And I never really got into it. I didn't really watch it much as a kid, because I don't think I had any in my mind. I didn't have any connection of what this was related to what Disney was.
Yeah.
So it wasn't something that really formed any sort of connection to that.
Well, I
But
watched the Davy Crockett episodes
uh-huh.
uh way back then. I really liked that stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of like with me in this show, the Adventures of Spin and Marty,
Yeah.
is like, it just throws you back in time, and it's like you can almost visualize you being there at that time when they're doing it,
Yeah.
and living in that time frame. So yeah, it's kind of cool, and that's
Yep,
why I think they're fun, because you can go back and relive something that you might have forgotten.
that's right. And then we always
Yeah.
have Sophie to bring us back to the now and keep us grounded right
Mhm.
here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So those are the only two that I have. So Sophie, you have one more that you want to talk about?
Yay!
Yeah, and this one isn't actually one that I've watched all the way through, but
Okay.
it's one that I do want to watch all the way through if I can find a way to do so. Because for some reason, I believe that the episodes of this series on Disney Plus are not in chronological order, and it's frustrating.
Uh-oh.
And that is Star Wars The Clone Wars. I really want to watch it. I remember seeing the movie for it when I was very young, before I even knew what Star Wars was, because my parents wanted to take me to see a Star Wars movie, and it bored me to death.
Oh no.
And then Daddy made me give it a second chance and showed me the originals when I was in the 8th grade, because he said it was a rite of passage, and he was right. It is a rite
Hmm.
of passage, and if I hadn't watched it, then I don't think I would have had a very fun high school experience.
Yep.
It probably would have been fine either way.
Bleh. Well, so yeah, I love them, and I want to give the Clone Wars another try because, well, the prequels are my favorites. I like the originals, the sequels were good, but the prequels are where it's at with Ewan
Right.
McGregor.
All right.
Well, segueing a little bit, but I will tell you, in the Phantom Menace, the fight scene between Darth Maul and
Qui-Gon
and
Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of the absolute best fight scenes you'll ever find in Star Wars, in
I
my
agree
opinion.
with that.
I agree
I
with
agree
that
with
too.
I
that.
mean, that was so riveting, and it was so. I'm like, whoa, and the things they were doing, and I'm like, this. I
Crazy.
mean, Darth Vader wouldn't have stood a chance.
Nope. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground and the awesome moves.
So anyway, yeah, one of the best fight scenes, and part of it was the music. John Williams's music for that scene just really it ranched it up. You got going up and up and up and up in the level of how intense it became. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that
my
definitely
Yeah.
plays a huge part.
that's my opinion on that. And so there you go. Anyway, back to reality.
Oh, you ruined my fun.
So like I said, this is kind of an interesting show topic. Um, and I don't know that I have anything else to add, but we do have some listener feedback because I asked them, I'm like, what are some of your favorite TV shows? So, Brenda, do you want to go down our list and kind of fill us in on what the listeners came up with?
I sure will. So when you asked about the listener favorites, Stephanie wrote in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and The Wizards of Waverly Place.
And I never saw either one of those shows.
I do
I saw The
remember
Sweet
them.
Life. I saw
Okay.
The Sweet Life. They were twins, twin brothers.
Yep. And
Okay.
I
And they were
remember
mischievous, always into trouble.
the Wizards of Waverly Place. That one was good. That one
I
had
mean,
Selena Gomez in it.
I
Oh, that must be
remember,
where she got her start.
yeah, I remember the names of them, but I just never watched them. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jennifer wrote in, she used to love watching Mickey Mouse Club. I can still sing the ending song from start to finish, she said. You go, girl.
Yeah.
And Deb wrote in and said the Mickey Mouse Club, the Sunday night Walt Disney's Wonderful World. Yep, Sunday night. All right, thank you for that. And then I had just put on there that my girls loved Jessie. They always watched the Jessie one.
Oh, yes.
crazy girl Jessie that babysat the rich family.
Uh-huh.
Family's kids, not the family, but
You
just the
know,
kids.
one
Oh,
other show I forgot about, and it's Sophie's Generation.
oh,
Mhm.
So it's Disney Channel, and we actually saw them at breakfast at Hollywood and Vine, and that was Baby Einstein.
ah,
Baby Einstein,
Little Einstein.
little Einstein, not Baby Einstein.
little Einstein.
Thank you, Sophie.
Baby Einstein is an important thing
And I
too, though.
totally do not know that because I recently found all of the episodes on YouTube again and started watching them.
But little Einstein, I love how they did the music and the way they would sing, and I mean, I thought it was so cool. So
Yeah,
anyway,
June was my favorite for many, many reasons.
oh yeah, June absolutely was Sophie's favorite, and I have
June,
pictures of Sophie with June.
yeah, June is my birth month, so of course I loved her name. June wore purple, which was my favorite color, so of course I loved her
Perfect.
dress. And
Yeah.
June was a ballerina, and so was I, so of course I loved her.
Yeah.
I loved her so, so much. She was my favorite.
So what no one knows is that Sophie was June.
She's June.
June has black hair. I
I'm
have
just kidding.
brown.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, I am also a June birth month,
hmm
Yes, you
which
are.
makes me wonder. June, Sophie and I are both June babies. We both
Yep.
love Tower of Terror. If you're a June baby out there, I'd love to know if you're a Tower of Terror fanatic. Maybe it's
Well,
something
yes,
in the
this is-
stars.
This is statistic. This is statistical. It's just fact. It's science.
we both
Yeah.
have those two things in common, though.
Yeah.
Thank you for the listeners for writing in. We appreciate that so much.
Yeah. And so I'm going to close out this week's feature presentation, feature topic, and I am going to turn it over to Sophie, and she is going to tell us about this day in Disney history for April 26th. Sophie, what do you got?
All right. Well, I have two things, and they are 2 years apart.
Okay.
First, 1996, the third Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival begins on April 26th, today. And, well, that's just a great thing because you don't often hear about the garden festival actually beginning on a day. And sometimes it can be skipped over on accident because we can't cover every single day on this show.
That's true.
And then in 1998, The Wonderful World of Disney, another TV show, airs Disney's Animal Kingdom, The First Adventure. And it is a 1-hour television special that gives its viewers a first look at the new Florida theme park.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So happy birthday, Animal Kingdom. And yay, Flower and Garden Festival.
Yay!
There you go. Now, Sophie, I have a serious, groundbreaking news question.
Yes.
Fess up. It's really Grogu who's doing this research, isn't it? Did I find you out? Have I solved the riddle?
No comment.
Mhm. I'm just kidding. Sophie spends time looking this stuff up, not me, not Grogu.
Oh
But
no, I
Grogu,
think Grogu's
Grogu will
protesting.
he'll take credit for it though, as
Yeah.
long as it comes with payment of macaroons or macarons. How is it?
Macarons. Macarons use almond flour. Macaroons are coconut cookies.
Coconut. And I love both.
I prefer macarons better. Macarons are French.
Okay,
True.
there
But
you go.
coconut is a superfood.
Back to food.
Always back to food.
Mommy can have all the macaroons she wants. She's the coconut one.
Yes, mommy likes her coconut.
All right, Cindy.
All right. Well, that brings us to Stump the Soph.
Uh-oh.
We changed the name. Have you noticed? I changed
I
the
love that name, by the way.
name. Got to put on my glasses. Sorry for
Perfect
the
name.
ring light rim. We are going to see if Sophie and Brenda can figure out my Disney Who's Who character for this week. I have 3 clues, which actually becomes 4 because of the clue itself.
Hmm.
So, well, no, it's still 3 clues because I say what this character is part of the clue. So this character is a prince. Okay. This character, there is nothing wholesome about this prince. And this character is motivated by greed. So it's not a good prince, is it?
Doesn't sound like it.
So think about who it might be.
Do, 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 do.
Hang on, can you stop for a minute? Let me. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
Brenda, do you have any idea who it is?
I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking Tiana is what I'm thinking.
No.
Also was thinking Jafar, but I don't think Jafar was a
Jafar is not a prince, however. I don't think this one would actually be in that book, but there is a prince from Aladdin. His name is Ahmed, and
No.
he was one of Jasmine's suitors.
Has nothing to do with Aladdin.
well.
This prince has brothers. I think I just gave
Hans.
Oh, we do not
it.
like
Do you think-
Hans.
No, we don't like Hans. Who did you know? Did you know that Hans's horse's name is Citron, spelled Citron? Citron.
Hmm.
And Hans has more siblings than any other Disney villain.
12 older
12
brothers.
older brothers.
Yep.
And to be fair, there are a few tiny things that are wholesome about him until you realize all of it was a lie.
Exactly. The lie part is what makes it
Yeah.
good. Makes him not good.
Sneaky, conniving.
And if you look at the picture, you can see the conniving look on his face.
Yeah.
Smug about himself.
I'd take Kristoff any day.
Like, I'm all that and a bag of chips too. Thank you very much.
Kristoff seemed kind of like a jerk in the beginning as well.
I don't think so. I like Kristoff.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my Disney Who's Who character for this week.
All right.
Sure, a little bit till the last clue.
Yep.
Just a little. But are you surprised that I pulled out a name that nobody would have ever guessed?
And he is a bad guy.
He is. He was one of Jasmine's suitors, and he only had like a couple lines in the entire movie, and we only saw him going off screen with a hole in his pants from where Raja the tiger bit him.
Yeah.
He deserved every bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did. All right. Well, Brenda, that takes us to your Walt Disney
My
quote.
Walt Disney quote is a short one this week. One day I learned that dreams exist to come true. And since that day, I do not sleep for rest. I sleep just to dream.
Oh, man.
Yep.
That's a good one.
I wish I could
is the
control
man.
when my dreams came to me.
Yeah, me too. And I wish they were all good instead of
so
bad.
Daydreaming is so much easier than night dreaming.
Too true, too true.
Yeah, because in a
You
daydream,
can control
you're
that.
not asleep and you control what you
Yeah.
want to think about.
Exactly.
Yeah, the only downside to daydreaming is that people often interrupt you.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
you don't finish things you need to be finishing too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, that wraps us up for this week. A little bit shorter episode, but that's okay. Next week, we are going to talk about our top 5 Disney Disney restaurant desserts.
Back to food.
Back
Of
to
course.
food. We really, if I had thought about it and planned this a little bit better, we should have had this episode this week or next week's this week. But anyway, say
I
la
think
vie.
it's good.
It'll all
It's
be
all
good.
good.
So next week, our top 5 Disney restaurant desserts. And so we're going to have our list from 5 to 1 like we normally do. And in number 1, we are going to get into a little bit more detail about exactly why this restaurant dessert deserves that top billing.
Yes.
So look for it next week. We are excited to be presenting it to you, and we are excited that you are following along with us. So thank you so much for all that you do and watching with us. And we look forward to next week, and we hope you all have a great week. We hope some of you are at Disney soon and will tell us how it goes, because keep in mind also that we're recording April 23rd. 1 week from today is when Disneyland and California Adventure reopen, right, Brenda?
That's right.
So if you're going, we want to hear about it. We want to know what it was like. We want boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay? So check in with us in our Facebook group and start talking it up because we're kind of curious. But anyway, enough about me. Thank you all for joining us. And we look forward to talking to you next week. And we will
see you
on the road.
Bye.
Bye.